Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal, and joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the tank top sage. It's Joshua, Gangsta Time Code.
Well, it's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
Yo, what up, Chris? What's good, everybody listening?
Ooh, yeah. Brian,
It's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. Brian is here, but not here. He has an internet crash, so he may join us later. But Edgelord Big News Brian will hopefully be joining us.
Remember that time he was in the Singularity?
Yeah. It may have
That was
happened
an
again.
interesting time.
He may be trapped in the Singularity one more time.
That rascal.
Nah, that's our Brian. But he'll probably join us back. But till then, we have some manga to talk about. It's been a week since we've had a new episode. 2 weeks actually. Very excited to get into it though. Very excited to be back. So let's not waste any time. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At J.E. Cole _37. That's on Instagram. At New Jump City Josh on both X and TikTok. At me.
Hell yeah. You can find Brian at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. And sometimes he plays video games on stream at twitch.tv/itspunchline. Check him out on that. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Email to newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, and we will talk about it on the show, on our pre-show chat show that we do every week before the actual pod. So please send us questions. I think we're all caught up. We need more questions, and we'd like to hear from you guys. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Well, not Google Podcasts. I think it's defunct. It's gonna take me a while to get used to not saying Google Podcasts, but look us up on any platform that you guys listen to podcasts on, and we'll likely be on it. Yeah, that's it. That's it for plugs. Let's get into the show proper. It's time to go. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1123, The Void Fortnite.
What? Oh,
I-
yeah.
But
Fortnite. Yeah.
it's not the video game, Josh.
I know.
It's just Fortnite.
But I was a little bit stunned in disbelief that was... It's okay. Anyway.
It's not spelled in
One
the
Piece
way.
confirmed for Fortnite.
That would be sick. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, right?
Mm-hmm. And wait to see Luffy with a Uzi.
Yeah. But anyway, this is One Piece chapter 1123. We get another cover story, another chapter in Yamato's surrogate pilgrimage, where they're eating Odin with the kids in the neighborhood that were throwing rocks at her just now. Honestly, very cute scene. It's Yamato, Denjiro, and the kids that have a grudge against Kaido, all having a good time hanging out with Yamato. So yay. Last we left off, lots of things happen in One Piece. We got the end of Vegapunk's message to the world. We got the giant robot Emmett protecting the Straw Hats from the Five Elders. Not Luffy. Zoro's group has finally touched down with the Thousand Sunny, and they're all making their escape now thanks to the hockey bomb that was implanted in Emmett's body that forced the Five Elders to retreat. And
we keep getting proven as the more and more we go that hockey actually is something that can be weaponized.
Yeah. Kaido said it himself. It's really just, it's not necessarily devil fruit powers that gets you ahead in the new world. It's hockey. So, and we're seeing
Can be
evidence
a
of
hockey man.
a hockey man.
A hockey man? You mean a fighter who relies on hockey?
But in any case, the chapter opens up with basically the aftermath of the big hockey bomb. All of the Marines are just knocked out for the most part. We see the Boa Hancock Seraphin trying to wake up one of the vice admirals who was KO'd. We see Dahl, one of the vice admirals, knocked out in her child form, no less. I don't know if that wears off. I think she's just going to be a kid forever. Yeah, everybody's just
That sucked.
yeah. Well, maybe not forever. I wonder if she has to grow up again. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, all the giants are overlooking. And they're like, "Whoa, it really knocked out all the captains." And it was like, "Was that stronger than even red hairs?" There was no hostility to it. And Luffy lets out a big thank you to Emmett, who seems to already be like dead at this point. Yeah, we get a big 2-page
Robots
spread.
don't die. Robots never die.
That's true. Robots never die.
They're just power down.
We get a big 2-page spread of everybody escaping the island finally. A few shots of Usopp being happy to see Dory and Bragi. Luffy is completely out of his Gear 5 form and in his little weak old man form. And we see Sanji walking up to Vegapunk's assumingly dead body and asking that what you said back there doesn't sit right with me. What is it? Was it what you wanted, Vegapunk? I couldn't hear everything, but you said some pretty outrageous stuff. And then we get a flashback to 2 weeks ago on Egghead. And the long and short of this flashback is that Shaka, Vegapunk, and Pythagoras all found out pretty early that York had betrayed them. They found out that she took the piece of the Mother Flame that the government then used to destroy Lulusia. And really, they were just trying to find countermeasures to all of this because now they know that the Marines will be after them soon. So it's at that point that instead of running away, Vegapunk is like, there's no use in running away because knowing what we know, the government's not going to stop chasing after us. So, if we're pretty much going to die, but it's not going to be a wasted effort. Vegapunk then records his message and hides it within Emmett. York even catches him kind of doing it, but she doesn't know exactly what he's doing there. But yeah, it was a little moment. We then find out that Vegapunk, Shaka, and Pythagoras all erased their minds of this. So it's pretty much to prevent anybody from learning what they did with the message and all that stuff. So they couldn't get any, so they could catch the government by surprise. If they don't know, then nobody knows. So they basically erased their minds. They gave themselves, they erased their minds of the last 2 weeks, and Vegapunk wakes up to a message in his handwriting saying that there is now a void fortnight in their minds, but it was done of their own volition. There are many surprises for you in store. Lol. Even put lol in the message.
LOL.
But he says, "But I will."
I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, he said, "But I will leave you with one piece of information." He explained, the message explains that the world government knows about their research into the Void Sentry and that they already have a countermeasure for it. Then it says, and one more thing. And all of a sudden, that's when they hear that Luffy and the Straw Hats are now descending on their island, and all this shit is going down. We then cut to a moment while Vegapunk was with Sanji, Atlas, and Frankie, saying that I want you to know, even though that we're going down there to save Bonnie, I intend to remain down there. And Sanji's like, wait, but you're gonna die if you do. He's like, I don't want you to save me. Just leave me down there to perish. And he's like, what? You got a death wish? And he's like, certainly not. But I feel like my death might cause something to happen. Which, you know, would be the triggering of the message within Emmett. So, yeah, this was all part of Vegapunk's plan. He fully intended to die so that he could release his message into the world. So, you know, he basically begs Sanji to let him die on the island. And then he says, and one other thing, when it comes to the One Piece, I want your crew to be the ones who get it. And we end here with a panel of Usopp and a shriveled up Luffy cheersing with Dory and Broggy. And they're about to head out to Elbaf, finally, after all of these years. And that is the end of the chapter. Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1123?
I'm really curious to see how you felt about like this little backstory in general. I don't believe this was done to serve the purpose of like, you know, tying any loose ends per se. I don't remember there being any real plot holes I remembered, but all of this does kind of make sense. I mean, um, like accepting that, like, all right, what, like the fact that they found out that, that the government found out we're researching the void century means it's too late. So, if we're gonna die, we got to do it like the smart. I'm gonna do it with, as he said, if I must die, it won't be for nothing. So, I think it was interesting the way this was set up, because I guess it shows how they was be able to prepare for all of the shit that was like going down. So it was cool. I guess I'm not too concerned with that. Something I thought about though, as far as Vegapunk goes, is that like he's still he's still technically alive, I guess, through the other Stellas. I mean,
Well,
the other
Lilith is the only surviving one.
whatever you call it.
The only, yeah.
Lilith. Yeah.
And plus, his mind seems to still be alive. Like, I think it's been established.
Alive, his brain.
Yeah, I think it's been established that his brain will remain functioning after his death.
It's interesting. Well, anyway, the point I wanted to make is that like he divided his body up so like he could be more efficient, so that he can like work a lot more and achieve a lot more. And in order to like, I guess in the process he created Sloth. And I was trying to think like why would he like why did he create Sloth again? I'm sure they gave a reason, but what makes sense to me is that
York is greed.
They offshot, huh?
York is greed.
Oh, I thought it was Sloth. Yeah, why would he offloaded all his greed to her? Why? So that she could like sleep and eat for all of them or something like that? All of those urges?
I think like he was trying to kill two birds with one stone in his dividing himself up, where I think he offloaded parts of his like inner personality to all of the Vegapunks, because York represents all of Vegapunk's greed. And Atlas represents like the more violent tendencies of Vegapunk, the ones that allow him to make weapons and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. Shaka is the good side of Vegapunk. And, I forget, I think Pythagoras is wisdom, but yeah, it's just like offloading like the essence of his being into and dividing it within these Stellas. Oh no, wait, Vegapunk's the Stella. I forget what they call the satellites.
Yeah, the other satellites. Yeah. I guess maybe there's like a message in this, and that like you kind of can't. You have to be like well rounded. If you divide, just if you try to like hone in on any aspect of yourself. No, I don't even think that's the right thing to say. I wanted to make a point about him offloading, you know, all of like majority of the negative uh uh I guess as like parts of him like into York, and how that led to his downfall, because she that's someone like her would betray them, like in order to stay alive or whatever, because she's greed. So I don't know, maybe there's something to saying that, but I can't deliver it the way I'd like to. But I don't have that much else to say. I'm happy to see them move past Egghead. That was an awesome arc. It was. I did not know it. I mean, once Vegapunk got involved, I knew this was going to be important, and it just impressed me in more ways than I thought it would.
Yeah. Yeah, Vegapunk has been like built up for a really long time. And it was nice to finally meet him. I think on the offloading parts of himself, I think that's maybe something he had to do in order to divide himself. He had to like impart in order to split up his mind in the way he did between these Vegapunks. He probably had to offload parts of his personality into each one of them, or like his innermost essence, I guess, into all of them in order to make it work. But I don't know. As far as the flashback goes, I also was like, I don't know if it was particularly necessary, but I think it makes sense in the way of seeing that Vegapunk understood, something about his death would be impactful. And I think that's like something, I think I mentioned it last time we talked about it too, is just the idea that like every great chapter of this world is punctuated by the death of a really significant figure, kind of still stoking up the hopes of the people in this world. First it was Roger. If you want my treasure, you can find it. It was Whitebeard then with the One Piece is real, and now it's Vegapunk saying that like, the fate of the world rests on whoever finds it now. So I think like when Vegapunk says he feels like his death would cause something, I think there's the obvious his death would trigger the message, but also his death kind of like kickstarts a new age. But yeah, I don't have too much to say about this chapter because I thought the flashback was interesting but not particularly necessary. It was cool to see everybody sail away and have a little shot of Usopp reuniting with Dory and Broggy. I wish that moment was a little more elongated, given how much Usopp looks up to the Giants. Yeah. But maybe we'll get that next chapter, to be honest. And I do love that the chapter ends with Usopp and Luffy with Dory and Broggy. And it's really fitting. Even though it's very funny that Luffy's like, not now, I'm dying here.
Yeah. Looking like a raisin.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about how the arc started with them running into Bonnie, and then also like with Kuma being with the revolutionaries, and he ran all the way from where he was with the revolutionaries all the way to Egghead within like a couple days. What a beast.
He teleported there. He teleported from where they were on Kamabaka Queendom, and then teleported over to Marijois, I think briefly, or the Red Line.
Yeah, climbed the wall.
And then back to Egghead.
Wow.
So yeah, pretty nuts. I'm glad we don't have to wait an extra week. I'm glad One Piece is coming out this coming week. That'll be nice. I'm almost prepared for it
nice.
to be.
I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, I am also very prepared to that it's probably going to skip a week after next chapter because that's how our life is now. But yeah, fantastic chapter overall. But all right, I'm ready to move on if you are.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
That is just a cope by people with agendas.
Jujutsu Kaisen. This is Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 266, Inhuman Makio Shinjuku Showdown, part 37. So last we left off, Itadori has launched his domain, which teleported him and Sukuna to his hometown. I think it was Sendai, where Itadori tried to appeal to Sukuna's humanity one last time, but it didn't seem to work. And the chapter ended with Itadori finally threatening him. It's like, hey, give up Megumi's body and, come with me. Come inhabit my body again, or I'll fucking kill you. And Sukuna didn't take too kindly to that. But this chapter opens up with Itadori and Megumi talking. Megumi is talking to Itadori about how he wanted to create a world that wouldn't expose Sumiki to injustice and unhappiness. And if he couldn't do that, then at least he wanted to preserve his their fragile lifestyle as much as they could while they were still alive. He's like, I wanted to eat food that I'm used to making, and gaze at the laundry hanging in the sun, and see Sumiki as she walks side by side with someone like you in the afternoon light. And then I think about how happy I was. And he tells Itadori that he's done enough. Or is this the other way around? I don't know. But Itadori starts talking about his grandfather. And how his sickness started as lung cancer, and he rejected treatment because the side effects were awful. And he was always very strong, so he didn't understand the idea of refusing treatment. And also euthanasia, he didn't really understand that as a concept too. But he might have been able to endure his treatment, but he must have been suffering, But after going through what we went through at Jujutsu High and thinking of those horrors as being never ending, he came to understand how people like Gramps felt when confronting harsh reality. And Itadori says, I guess I have no right to tell you that you have to live, Fushiguro. And then we cut back to reality, where Sukuna has fully taken on his form again and has activated Hollow Wicker Basket. So, the battle continues. Itadori is back to being battle damaged. His eye is gone again. Sukuna starts to think to himself that Gojo developed his own method of rehabilitating his brain to reset a cursed technique burned out by domain. So doing that now while the brain is still affected by unlimited void would be too risky. So, he's trying to use Hollow Wicker Basket to buy some time, and until the domains can't miss attacks hit. But yeah, I don't know. I guess he's trying to buy time. But Sukuna is able to offset weak output by continuing the palm size after activating Hollow Wicker Basket. So he can keep fighting without the domain overpowering him. Take with that what you will. They start boxing again. They're just fighting left and right. He's like, I'm surprised. Even I'm surprised at how furious I get when someone looks down on me, like you with your pity. He said, I can't wait to get payback on your beloved humans.
I can't wait to smoke on your dead homies.
Yeah. That is pretty much what he said.
I don't really have to fucking care who's in my way. I'm gonna fucking kill everybody.
Yeah.
So Megumi looks back and he's like, what's with that look? Yeah, and this is Megumi as a kid. And it's kind of reminiscent of that one time that, Megumi as a kid met Gojo. And Itadori is behind him. He says it's lonely without him. We cut back to reality. And Sukuna's leg just starts falling into this darkness, and he's like, "Whoa!" He's like, even he was taken back by that. He's like, Maharaga got wasted, and my 10 Shadows technique stopped. So this is Megumi Fushiguro's. And he's saying that the boy's dismantle has breathed life back into the soul immersed in the bath. So Megumi is slowly fighting back from the inside, activating the 10 Shadows technique to trip him up a little, and allowing Itadori to come in and punch Sukuna. And he continues to just like lay on like the boxing. And they're just like fucking punching each other a lot. And Sukuna's like, man, I knew it. I can't. Reverse curse technique can't keep up with the boys punch it. And hollow wicker basket isn't gonna last. And we see a couple slashes. Sukuna seems to use dismantle, and it cuts the outer layer of Itadori's arm that looked like a curse.
Yeah, that gauntlet.
Yeah, so it wasn't really his arm, it seems. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Confirmed.
Confirmed. And Itadori starts thinking to himself, is like, wait, did Sukuna's curse technique replenish? That's Gojo Sensei's burnt out technique reset. And Sukuna starts
Was
to...
it?
I guess so. And Sukuna starts to activate his domain expansion. And then we see that Itadori is missing a couple of his fingers there. And the chapter ends in one final page where we see this spiral staircase. And in the center of that staircase hanging is, I believe, one of Sukuna's fingers. Probably the last finger of Sukuna. And that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 266?
There'll be a chapter next week.
I believe so, yes.
This is the RGC for me.
I agree. It is also mine. But Brian's not here, and he may show up. So it feels wrong to do unified without him. So I'll just give it one of these.
Yeah. Okay, so
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, I was clicking the wrong thing. Sorry, my bad.
you good?
There it is.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
I'm gonna assume that this little flashback and conversation happened when they first made contact, and
Oh,
all we got
he's back, I think.
was the boy Brian's back.
Brian's back.
Brian's back. Brian's back. Internet not crashed no more. All right, I'm gonna continue on my thoughts. We just finished Jujutsu Kaisen and we're giving our thoughts on the chapter.
Oh, okay.
So I'm starting mine. So yeah, this conversation between Itadori and Megumi, I think it happened when Itadori first made contact with him and he was like, leave me alone. I just want to die. I feel like this was nice that like this was the expanded conversation they had where I guess he just really displays how sad he is, that he won't be able to do these things, these simple things in life that would have made him so happy. Which I think gives a lot more weight to his character. I mean, maybe it was just me, but because we haven't really seen Megumi as himself in so long, he's just been real sappy in the few times we have seen him recently. Character, but like the fact that he's like out of the picture now, but this helped really make me feel like, damn, like he's a whole character that's caught up still. But Itadori's basically letting him know in a way, like, look, I get it. Like, if you're suffering and you can't, you don't want to continue going with what you're going through, then I'm not gonna, I'm not the right who am I to criticize you for that, you know. So I don't think that as a friend or someone that that cares about another person, that if they're having thoughts of letting go or giving up on life or whatever, you should always encourage them to try to fight. But I think this is more about acceptance, about when people ultimately make the decisions they want to make on their own because they're allowed to. Us as their loved ones have to come to terms and peace with that. And this is one way to kind of uh cope with it in a healthy, rational way. Anyway, we already knew that this fight was about to be insane. He's wicked basket to defend against the automatic attack. Um, are you telling me he copied Gojo's brain refresh for his cursed energy and technique? Like, I
It
thought you could
seems
only
like
do
it.
that with the seven eyes.
No, no, I don't think so. I think like Gojo just used reverse curse technique on his head.
Oh,
To
and that's
regain the
smart.
ability to do domain expansion. So I don't think it's anything specific to the eyes.
Okay, that's good. That's good for a plot hole sense sake. I mean,
Yeah.
um, what a shocker that Itadori actually was just wearing a gauntlet and he didn't have cursed arms.
Yeah.
Was anybody really hoping he has some cursed arms, or
I had no idea what those were, and I feel like we never will. I feel like they'll just won't explain what those are. Well, I guess we can assume they're cursed tools of some sort. But
definitely of some sort? Probably they probably serve like more of the purpose of armor and the sharpness of the nails to help with his technique. Hopefully, it's not that big a deal. Okay, but yeah, what's the deal with this fucking finger? I thought they had all the fingers already. I thought
I think I think Itadori's eaten all the
didn't
fingers
Kotu
except for
eat the
one.
last one?
No, I think there was literally just one left out there, and like the curses didn't have the access to it. But this may be just like the last
you
finger.
Do you think the Sukuna's nail is black because there's so much dirt and grime under it? Or do you think he painted his nail black?
It would be. I think he's just so evil. His nails are black. I think the alternative is that he paints them because he's so edge.
It's probably the answer is somewhere between those.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe. So anyway, those are my thoughts for the chapter. What about you, Chris?
Yeah.
Since Brian's still having more difficulties.
Yeah, Brian's internet crashed out again, so I'll stall for him a little and talk about my thoughts. I really like this chapter. I think there's a lot of self realization going on with Itadori, in terms of like the concept of living and dying, and the value of death and all that stuff, and people's decisions of how they want to cope with death. And Itadori coming from a place where he was always strong, which makes sense because ever since we knew him from the start of this series, and apparently back in the day, he was always just this super powerful kid. So he doesn't understand the perspective of, someone who was dying, or, he was never faced with that kind of prospect. So he doesn't understand the decision to let go. But I think like after everything that he's seen and all of the people he's lost, and the pure just hell that he's been through, he gets it now. There's like the weird awakening in that sense. But there is like kind of a hopeful thing when Sukuna gets trapped by Megumi when Megumi from within Sukuna activates the 10 shadows to trip him up a little. There's a little moment of Itadori acknowledging that that's what happened, that little smile, and seeing, okay, cool. Megumi hasn't fully given up yet. Which I thought was a really nice moment. And, you know, it's obvious that, like, Megumi probably can't help out all that much. He could probably sneak in here and there to do stuff like that while Sukuna's off guard. But I thought that was a really cool moment. I don't know what this finger is, and I don't know why the attention has been drawn to Itadori's finger specifically in that one panel. Now that I see it, in that panel where the gauntlet gets torn up, those two fingers are obscured by fragments of the gauntlet. So it's possible that these are his fingers. That this is Itadori's finger. I don't know. Ooh.
Hey,
Brian's back.
I'm here again. Yes, I am.
Brian's back, baby. I was just giving my thoughts. And I was just saying that, like, the finger at the end here, it might be one of Itadori's. It might not even be Sukuna's somehow, some way. I don't know. I think there's like a particular reason they emphasize that Itadori is missing two fingers.
What if that's the finger that he force fed to Megumi?
Well, how would that be possible? It would be within Sukuna right now.
Yeah, what if this is just like within Sukuna?
I don't know what this is.
Well, if Yuji is able to talk to Megumi, then theoretically maybe the domain expansion is within Sukuna's soul or within Megumi's body.
Sheesh. I don't know. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to go off of. But I think it's either Sukuna maybe channeling his cursed energy into one of the fingers that is gone and placing it somewhere for some reason, or it's the one finger that Sukuna didn't eat. Because I think there is one out there that nobody managed to get their hands on. But those are my thoughts.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Didn't they say that? Didn't they say that Yuji ate it or something? Or was he? Just
I think the
theorizing
last
that,
we've seen of it is that Jogo fed a ton of Sukuna's fingers to him, like the remainder of the fingers they had to Sukuna during Shibuya. And this, but it wasn't all of the fingers. I think there was like maybe one missing, but I could be misremembering.
There is one missing, and Sukuna brought it up during his fight with Gojo, but I forget if that was resolved or not.
I mean, maybe this is the resolution. Maybe they found it in the between time between, Gojo coming back in this fight.
Mayhaps.
But yeah, those are my thoughts. I thought this chapter was sick, and this was a really good chapter. I don't know how you feel, Brian. What did you think of this chapter?
Oh, this is your RGC?
Yeah, it was both of ours.
Yeah, I'll give it.
Oh, so this has been upgraded to a unified really good chapter of the week.
Unified RGC. Unified RGC. Unified RGC.
Yeah, pretty sick. Pretty sick chapter. Yuji kind of giving some Takano Jutsu to his boy Megumi, and Megumi kind of helping out in small ways, it seems, at the moment. So still hope yet for the young sad boy. But
Came in a little clutch.
yeah, like this battle looks like it's gonna be the the end of the series. So it looks like it's only gonna be really those two who could get involved
Oh
here.
my god.
Yeah,
It did
we haven't
not
really.
occur to me.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that. So it was announced that after this chapter, it seems there's 5 chapters left of Jujutsu Kaisen. So the last chapter will be on September 30th. Nuts.
I can't imagine how they're gonna wrap all this up within 5 chapters. And all of a sudden, it makes this fight, this grand, giant, constantly evolving fight, feel so I don't know. I guess like intimate now. It kind of made like brought down the size of the fight because now you start to feel like this is it. Like this, it is officially going to be Yuji and maybe Megumi versus Sukuna for the rest of it, which I'm not opposed to. I feel like we started the series with these two, might as well end the series with these two, right?
Well, yeah, it makes total sense.
But yeah, this chapter was pretty sick. I'm looking forward to seeing how how things unfold in the next 5 chapters. Yeah, those are my thoughts.
Okay, I got a wild one for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the snake that he used to be able to that Megumi used to be able to use in his 10 shadows?
Snake.
Right? So if that fight got into a fight with the snake that Orochimaru and Sasuke uses to summon, and
Mumbo.
also got into a fight with the basilisk from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, who you got in that 3-way fight?
I think Sasuke's snake.
Yeah, Sasuke Snake easily.
Yeah, that guy was a little different.
Yeah, Sasuke Snake in
Clears?
theory could use jutsu, and the basilisk. The basilisk in Harry Potter is just a snake.
He's not even just a snake. He's more like a fucking like a living container.
What do you mean?
Because he's one of the Horcruxes, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. No, the journal was a Horcrux.
Wasn't Neville cutting it in half, making it like the final thing?
No, the basilisk is
Like,
dead in the second movie. Like Harry kills it in the second movie.
So wait, what snake are we talking about?
We're talking about the basilisk, right, Josh?
Yeah, the one that was in the girls' bathroom or whatever.
Yeah.
Wait, there's 2 snakes in Harry Potter?
No. I mean, I only remember the basilisk.
So wait, who's the snake that Neville cut in half at the end?
That was like
movie.
a regular ass snake. That was
That
no,
was a
like-
regular snake? No, there's no way that was a regular snake.
I
it was a
don't
magical
remember
snake, but
enough.
It was like it
but
wasn't the basilisk.
I don't remember enough. I've
It
only
was a
seen
massive.
I've only seen the Deathly Hallows once. I've seen Chamber of Secrets dozens of times, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but funnily enough, I feel like I've seen Chamber of Secrets more than any other Harry Potter movie.
Let's see.
Maybe if
I'm
we read
looking
the
into
book,
this.
it would say that it had magical properties.
Mm. Plus, the fucking Sasuke snake can actually talk. And doesn't speak in parcel tongue.
Sukuna clears Voldemort.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, pretty easy.
Yeah, by a significant amount.
Easy diff. I mean,
Low diff.
Damn.
Like extremely low diff. Like he's basically like an ant.
Yikes.
It wouldn't even be close.
Yeah, Voldemort is Jag. Just a guy.
He could hit him with that one hitter spell.
Avada Kedavra!
Yeah. I don't see why it wouldn't kill Sukuna, but
Sukuna dodges
not.
it.
yeah, true. I could just dodge it and slice him in half.
I mean, no. Actually, what would happen is he would like in the middle of saying it, Sukuna will just like cleave him in half.
yeah. Guess so.
Sorry, didn't mean to.
Yeah, Voldemort ain't like that.
Yeah, you sounded so deflated after hearing that Voldemort gets smacked up by Sukuna. I was just like, damn.
I thought that maybe it'd be a little bit more mixed, but
Nope. Nope.
Sukuna don't. I mean, not Sukuna. Voldemort don't got that dog in him like Sukuna do.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I feel like that would be ass whooping of the week if we ever saw it.
Yeah, actually.
yeah.
Anyway, should we?
Yo, every time Sukuna gets punched by Itadori and he flies back with his like his four arms spread out, that shit is really funny.
What about Voldemort versus Yuji?
Voldemort.
Really?
Yeah.
Voldemort versus Yuji?
Yeah.
Yuji would beat the fuck
Don't
out of
have a
Voldemort.
cleave.
He would just
If
box
you
him
get
to death.
close to him.
He would. He would
Voldemort
get.
isn't soft.
Itadori is so fast. And Voldemort's an old man with no nose.
Yuji can kick a car, right? Like, didn't he throw a car at somebody? He's strong enough to
I
throw
think
a
he
car.
punched
Bro, this nigga knows magic. Come on.
Bro, but you're telling me if Yuji punches him once in the face that he won't like his head won't spin like a fucking
Maybe he'll have a spell
ballerina.
that like
Itadori
If
is
he
fought against
punches him,
Choso, who has
cuts the
ranged
damage
attacks.
back. Yeah. The Harry Potter verse is soft.
Oh, the Harry Potter verse is getting whooped by the JJK verse.
yeah.
They're getting fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
All right,
None
what
of them
about Harry
hold weight.
Potter versus Yuji?
Whole Wizarding Academy, like the
Okay,
whole
I think like
wizarding
all of them
world?
would get him.
Yeah.
But 1v1 anybody, I think everybody in Jujutsu Kaisen beats everybody in Harry Potter. From low to mid diff.
So you're saying that Harry Potter doesn't stand a chance?
Harry
Come on,
Potter
he's
would
from
get
Gryffindor.
fucked up.
But he's from Gryffindor.
Dumbledore is pretty gangster.
He would get fucked up. He's also 89 or some shit.
Yeah. No,
Voldemort's
he was
pretty-
like hundreds of years
Yeah,
old.
Dumbledore was getting his fucking shit rocked.
All right, which anime series do you think that Harry Potter can beat? Like that's like a shonen.
Bobo 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 Bobo.
You really think they could beat Bobobo?
I mean, I'm being generous there.
Maybe Haikyuu?
Yeah, because they're just regular
In
people.
volleyball?
No, I think to be honest, I think Hinata can blitz Harry Potter.
I guess so. Once you get into hand-to-hand combat with
They
the
have
Harry
no
Potter people, it's
respect.
over. That's the problem.
Oh, fuck these wizards.
Yeah, I think not Yuji. I think Hinata can solo the Harry Potter verse.
Hinata's athleticism alone, he could probably beat up Harry Potter in a fight. In just straight hands?
Yeah, he like Kageyama will just set cannonballs for him. And he'll just like slap it at them.
I'm trying to think of a manga verse that the Harry Potter universe could beat. I don't know, Bakuman?
That's not fair. That's too normal.
Haikyuu's pretty normal.
Yeah, but they're like doing superhuman shit in Haikyuu.
Not even, really.
What about Naruto?
Brian, come on. Be
They're
serious.
both weak to guns.
Be serious.
They're both weak to guns.
You know that scene where in Naruto versus Sasuke, like the first, like the big battle at, before the time skip. You know that like 60-piece combo Naruto hits Sasuke with?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
They
it's
got
over.
Hands. They got hands.
Rock
But-
Lee probably beats up a lot of the people in Hogwarts by himself.
But Kishimoto said that guns can beat Naruto.
Yeah, but the Harry Potter people aren't using guns.
Yeah, but they live in a world where guns do exist, so maybe they can just
That's
instead of
against their
casting
wizarding
spells, just
pride.
shoot. All right, we'll get back to that one.
Yeah, next week we'll talk about it on the pre-show or something, because this is actually very funny. Let's try to think of a fucking manga verse that the Harry Potter verse could beat. And you too, if you guys find a manga verse that is a battle shonen, it has to be. It can't be normal.
Yeah, it can't be like a regular life thing, like
Yeah, it can't be a
like
slice of life. It
fucking-
can't be Blue Box versus the Harry Potter crew.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a little unfair.
Write it in. Leave a comment on what manga verse you think loses to Harry Potter. I think 0 of them, but that's just me, I guess. Anyway, should we move on to our next
Yeah.
series?
Yeah, let's move on.
All right, let's do it.
Yes.
Kagurabachi. And I guess I'm gonna throw this one over to Brian.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Sorry,
shit.
I'm dealing with my internet this whole time. I was unprepared.
Damn, Brian.
There it is. I'll be honest. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is the first chapter after the Kabu, the fucking auction
Mm-hmm.
thing, and we see the Shikaku. Is that their name?
Hishaku, right?
Ishaku. I think it's Hishaku. The Hishaku are kind of just chilling, talking shit. They're just like, yeah, everything went according to plan. I really hope that this guy doesn't end up becoming an Aizen.
Look at his face, Brian. He's
But
already
we
got
see
eyes.
big sorcerer guy, and he's like, it's time for next move. As Chihiro wakes up from his long day, and Shiba is just like, oh, perfectly in sync. It seems like Hakuri also woke up at the same time, and he's just like, yo, how you feeling? And Shiba kind of thinks back at the last time they were both awake, and they just were asleep, like while sitting up. Basically, and he calls them twins, which is sweet because Hakuri's family is a piece of shit. And we kind of pan out to the rest of the room, and it looks like, the whole gang is here. Tafuku and Little Girl and Hiyuki, they're all just chilling, playing video games, hating on each other. And Chihiro's just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And they're just like, yeah, you just took forever, so we're just fucking chilling. We're just fucking chilling, man. Can you relax? And he's just like, what about all the prisoners? And apparently they just went home. Oh, I think he's talking about the ones who were trapped inside the auction house.
Yeah,
So
in the story.
nice. They all got to go home. Sweet. One of the kids say thank you, and it's the kid with the big sister, I think. And I guess now that they're awake, they decide to get back into business. So Hiyuki says, yo, yeah, so like it's our job to like take care of shit. So, thanks to you guys, we were able to like save a lot of people. and Shiba seems like he's against the heroics that Chihiro and Hakuri did, because he's literally trembling for some reason. I can't really tell what emotion he's trying to convey here.
I think he was just scared for their safety.
Really?
Yeah, because he said, "I'm just glad you guys are okay."
Sus.
Hmm.
And we find out that the Shinuchi is at the Kamunabi headquarters with the two guys that were at the auction house. And she left Enten right there so that he can use it, which is pretty sweet. So it looks like their agreement is going perfectly flawless.
Lawless.
So she was kind of just like, yo, I heard about the deal, so like you part of the Kamunabi now? Like is your priority to reseal the Shinuchi makes sense, but are you sure? Considering that he met one of the Hishaku guys. And he's just like, yeah, I'm ready for it. And she was kind of like, yeah, man, like, I know why you're nervous and shit, but you know, we need to be very careful from here on out. No more of that bullshit that you were doing before. And he kind of expects them to also be moving on with their own plans, considering that, you know, the Kamunabi getting the Shinuchi was part of their deal too. So and then Hiyuki cuts in and she's just like, yo, shut the fuck up, bro. Stop talking shit about the Kamunabi. He works with us now. And Tafuku chimes in and he's just like, yo, like, you guys seem to like kind of be forgetting that, you know, getting this shit sealed up is like, it's kind of like a blessing, I guess. It's kind of like they're not going to use it because they're going to seal it, right? And that's another thing that people are worried about. Well, Shiba and Chihiro are worried about, where it's the fact that Shinuchi could possibly be used by the Kamunabi. So they're hoping that they seal it, they won't have to deal with it. And they kind of start asking questions. They're just like, why would the Kamunabi want to use the Shinuchi? And Tafuku describes that they would use the Shinuchi to break the Kamunabi's deadlock with the Hishaku. So basically, they're using like an immense fucking power source to just like instantly put them against their competition. And Chihiro says if there's another way to break the deadlock, then there's no need for them to use the Shinuchi. And he's kind of like, yeah, you're right, Mr. Shiba. Maybe I am rushing into things, but this isn't just a stab in the dark, because now he has Hakuri on his side. And Hiyuki, intrigued, she's just like, yo, all right, so what's your deal? And Chihiro posits that they go to steal back the enchanted blades from the Hishaku, which she seems to mull on. The plan kind of makes sense because Hakuri can kind of like freely teleport people around, and I guess he has access to the storehouse now, or he has some like he has some sort of like alternative to it. So it seems like he could just kind of register somebody and then move them around. So if Hakuri makes contact with the sword bearers, he could probably transport the enchanted blades back to them. And we finally get to see who the other 4 uh blade wielders are, which is pretty cool. Gives us something to be excited about. There's like this cool guy. This guy's probably the edgiest. Oh no, the other guy's probably the edgiest.
I think
There's
this
like a
guy's
cool
the
guy
edgiest.
with eyes cut. He still has glasses for some reason.
He
and
has
a cigarette in his
sunglasses,
mouth.
despite the fact that he probably can't even see.
And then there's the other edge guy who's just like completely covered in stuff, and he's doing some peace signs. And there's an old guy and there's a little girl, or a quote unquote little girl. We don't know how little she is.
Okay, so I think the guy who's doing the peace signs is the least edgy. He's probably a little goofball. Secretly,
Yeah,
I,
but he's covered up though.
I think in terms of edge, guy on top with the sunglasses, he's top edge. Sushi chef man with the scar on his eye, he's second edgiest. Peace sign man is third edgiest, and the girl is the fourth edgiest.
Peace sign man.
Yeah.
Those are my edgy rankings.
The edgiest one is the edgiest one, in my opinion, is not out of these 4, but the Shinichi owner.
Oh,
He's
yeah, I mean,
edge.
I'm counting among these 4. The Shinichi wielder is probably the edgiest one by far. But yeah, sorry to interrupt, Brian.
Yeah.
But these 4 people are the people that his dad, like Chihiro's dad, essentially chose to wield the blades. So basically what I'm understanding is that these 4 people are like the living users of the blades during the war, but the blades got taken away from them, right?
Wait,
I think
say that
that's
again?
what's going on here. Like these are the 4. These people have no association with the Hishaku, at least not that we know of.
Yeah,
Right?
the
They're just
idea-
the people who wielded the blade before, and the Hishaku, the actual blades.
Yeah, the Hishaku are the bad guys that have the blades. These guys are the ones who originally wielded it during the war that Chihiro's dad made the blades for.
All right. So yeah, basically their plan is to get to them so that they can transport the blades. Since they technically count as since they still are linked to the original swords, they can transport the blades back. And Chihiro wonders how he can get to them. But all of them are kind of hiding out in Kabunabi controlled places throughout Japan. So if they die, the enchanted blades become like the Hishakus, so they have to be extremely heavily protected at all times. So that's why their locations are pretty hard to find too. And only the highest of people, only the highest caliber of people in the Kabunabi are allowed to kind of, reach out to them or talk to them. Stuff like that. There are fortresses known as Sanso, the Senku. Okay, I'm not even gonna. There's a temple. There's a hot spring. There's a shrine. A sushi spot. And Hakuri's like, cool. But it just sounds cool, according to Hiyuki, who says to ensure absolute security, most of the people that are stationed there, most of the people are stationed there. So they're like pretty short-handed because of how many protect these sword bearers. And Hiyuki's like, yeah, if we get back, then the Kabunabi will be freed, and those and the blade wielders will be able to go out and live like a safer life too, right? So by getting these blades back for the Kabunabi, they'll be releasing like a lot of like manpower that could help them through their deadlock with the Hishaku. And Chihiro says, "Hey man, I'm gonna need your help again, Hakuri." And he's like, "Yeah, you got it, boss." And Hiyuki surprisingly actually pretty much agrees with this plan. She says that it's actually, this is something that the Kamunabi probably could deal with, but it won't be easy because they're all gonna kind of judge him based off of like who he is and his trustworthiness. And they're saying that you can't prove who you are other than a guy who's been wielding an enchanted blade and his pals and his pal. So it looks like they brought him in cuffed up, and she continues saying that as far as the higher ups are concerned, there's no telling what you'll do if they let you meet the sword bearers. And there's no guarantee that they'll let you on board. In fact, you could end up being seriously punished. So, and we see all of the the Kabunabi higher ups kind of watching Chihiro walk into the council room, and this really this dude with some big ass fucking earrings is like, "State your name." And the chapter ends with Chihiro confronting all of them and saying his name, Chihiro Rokuhira. And that's the end of Kagurabachi. And Josh, what are your thoughts?
I like this chapter. It was a lot of exposition, but they led us in the right way to help us paint the picture of what the arc is going to be looking like. I was really excited seeing the Masters. I like the fact that they're all bunkered down in their own areas. It seems very video game level-ish. Like, all right, we go to this swordsman, then to that one, then to that one. I like linearity a lot. They may break it. It's fine. But I hope at least for one arc, they visit a sword and then learn about them and gain the sword somehow. I'm assuming with Cloud Gouger, that dude got smoked, which is why they was able to use it.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's the only other sword. Man, they're not gonna punish Chihiro. They're gonna accept him. They're gonna put him through some fucking test, try to drill him about his dad, be whack ass cops. And then he's gonna be like, "Am I done here?" And then I'm gonna be like, "Go ahead, boy. But we're gonna have our eye on you, Chihiro boy."
We're gonna send Hiyuki,
whatever
to
the
keep
last
an eye
name
on
is.
you.
Yeah, Rokuhira boy. One of them is gonna say that. At least one of them is going to say Rokuhira boy, and one of them looks like a giraffe.
Is
Beautiful.
it this long neck guy?
One of them looks like a giraffe. One of them, yes. The other one, another one looks like Death from like Kid Death from Soul Eater.
Is it the lady with the hairpins in?
Yep. Let's see. Anything else? There's the eye patch guy. And Blackbeard.
One of them kind of looks like Sasuke.
Kinda. I thought about that too. Yeah. That's my contribution to this, to my thoughts on this week. Chris, what about you?
Ooh, I really like this chapter. What's funny about it in a meta way is that it feels like the creator of this series is just pitching us. He's like, this is why you should continue reading Kagurabachi. Because we're going to do all this cool shit. There's new characters coming and also new places to go. Check out.
Yeah, it really opens up the whole series.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I just think it's kind of funny where he's like, please keep reading.
Yeah, and it also kind of sets things up for the future past this as well.
Yeah.
Because it keeps the Hishaku in it.
Yeah, I feel like it was a cool strategy to keep keep readers invested. Is like, look, a bunch of cool shit is gonna keep happening if you guys keep reading this. But yeah, I thought it was cool. part of me does wish that we didn't get like the whole lowdown immediately. But because I think there's something to be said about like finding these places ourselves. But I don't mind it at all, really. I think it got me a little excited, and the designs of the new characters are really cool. I'm very excited to meet them and figure out what their deals are. But yeah, it was a lot of exposition, and a lot of, I don't know, saying the mission statement of the series going forward, which is exciting. I'm excited to see the next set of chapters go down exactly as Josh says, and have them grill Chihiro for a while, and then just be like, "You're in, boy."
3 chapters of shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're in. But watch yourself, Rokuhira.
Your
Yeah,
dad was a
a lot of
dumb
those.
guy, but he was the best dumb guy we had.
You remind me so much of your father. He was also reckless.
I
Yeah,
could
we
never
read
understand
too
why
much.
he chose him to use the blade.
Him.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot.
Yo,
of
that's
those.
absolutely nothing.
I wouldn't. If
Yeah, there's gonna be a swordsman that they don't approve of being a sword bearer for sure.
you're gonna start with him.
That's the worst one you could start with, Rokuhira boy.
Huh. That's gonna be quite a challenge, Rokuhira boy. But yeah, I'm excited to see what goes on next. Those are really my thoughts. I don't have too many because it is a lot of just exposition.
Exposition.
So I'm excited for
Yeah,
what's
me
coming
neither.
though. I think the chapters, the future looks bright for Kagurabachi. Brian, what did you think?
Honestly, not much.
Yeah.
Lots of exposition. So not a lot happened this chapter yet, but I do like the plan that they laid out. It's I feel like it makes sense. And it also it's like a good plan overall because it helps both sides. Like it helps Chihiro get his blades back, and it helps the Kabunabi get their forces underneath them again. So yeah, pretty cool chapter. Aside from that,
Hell yeah. All right. Well, are we ready to move on then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Let's get hold on.
Yeah.
Going.
Bloody Cross.
Undead Unluck. And with that, I'm gonna toss it over to Josh.
Undead Unluck, chapter number 218. I don't see the title.
It's
There
right
we
next
go.
to the number.
Dead Start. Yep. Yeah, I see it now. Okay. Dead Start. Last week, well, a couple weeks ago, because Jump was on break, we wrapped up Tatiana's arc. Unfortunately, her physical condition remains the same. So we're gonna try to move past that as a podcast collectively,
Yeah.
but I do expect it to come up again, and when it does, I just want to know that this is a safe space for everybody within this podcast and this community to talk about our frustrations and fears. That aside, we start with this week's chapter. The rules, the big master rules, they at the round table, they see that, okay, they just got Tatiana, which is one like the second to last negator. And like, what do we do, Soul? Like, we getting fucking folded and they getting stronger. And Soul's like, oh, don't worry. Hey, this people y'all don't want to kill, right? Like y'all want to fight. So you start asking all the different rules and then naming different people, right? Different negators. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, I want to fight these people, but Andy's gonna get in the way. So Soul is just Soul, which is like the master role. Yo, don't sweat it. I got y'all. So we cut over to Tatiana. After the what do you call that? The model show. She has her tragedy negated, not her negation ability though. But she does that. She feels like she feat in her modeling career. That she has no regrets and that she's very thankful. And Fugo actually asked her like, "Hey, like, we're not forcing you to join the union or nothing like that. It is an option." But she's like encouraging Tatiana to think about it. Like, I don't know if she genuinely has a plan if Tatiana doesn't join, but we don't really have that much time to linger on it because shit turns up immediately. Blood spikes come out of nowhere and hit up a few of the negators. Chisaka's eyes get damaged, so he can't use Unmove, I guess. Chikara, I mean. And Fuko looks over with a very desperate drawn look on her face. Well done, Yoshifumi. Tozuka, yeah?
Yep.
Is that the guy? Yeah. Yoshi. So, revealed to be one of the main villains at the end of the previous loop. Brian remembers him vividly. He was whipping a lot of... He was a problem. He was a problem.
Yeah.
So,
I hate him.
Our New Jump City's unanimous favorite negator, what's his name again?
Sean.
Sean. Yeah, Unseen.
Can't even remember his
Unseen.
name.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that works against the agenda. Well, let's just sweep that under the rug. He's like, son of a bitch, who are you?
That is
And
just a code
before he
by
even
people
gets
with
to-
agendas.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris. Thanks. Well, Fuko has an agenda as well, and that's to immediately... Whoa, yo! I
This
just
was
realized what the
nuts.
fuck she did to him.
This was crazy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. She shot at his head. Shot at his neck, grabbed his fucking face, like through his eye sockets and ripped his head off within moments. What a beast.
Yeah, Fuko is her.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I think Fuko's beating Sukuna.
This is just
We can
some
have that
really,
debate later. we
murderous
can
shit.
wait till after we talk about the. Y'all want to talk about verses? We could debate that. Fuko's not here to fucking play around. I think she could beat a lot of people's favorite characters.
She could
but
definitely beat
anyway.
up anybody in Harry Potter.
For sure. I think so.
That was Ronald Weasley. She just did that too.
She wouldn't even have to do all that extra shit. Literally just shooting him would have been enough for anybody in Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's not get too sidetracked because this fight is still going on because he's unruined and apparently he has a new mastery of his soul. He can keep fighting without a head. He gets a soul skeleton head, a soul skull.
Soul Skull.
Yeah, that's what I said. A soul skull.
Soul
Skull.
That sounds pretty sick, actually.
It does sound sick.
And he has essentially turned into Soul's main assassin. He's
The Soul
immortal.
Skull.
The big problem. And Fuko's like, yo, everybody stay back. I fucking got this. And he does. She like hits him with a back strike. And he's not ready to be real, like with you. He's not ready for this level of Fuko on this timing, even a little bit before. So after she uses her glove, her own glove that she's kept on her hand the entire series, at least the entire second loop, billions of years, leaves it in his chest summons a 200 meteor shower attack. 200?
Yeah.
Yeah, she hit him with 200 meteors. I just realized.
Yeah,
that.
she's OP, bro.
There's people
There's
outside
no
just
fucking
watching
way the
this
Earth
shit.
would. The Earth. Well, she told before she did the move, she did tell everyone
Bounce.
to back up. Yeah, and that was done. That was done a whole 2 pages ago. That's fair. It's enough time for people to get out, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But she violates this nigga Unruined. But he's not dead yet. He comes from up under the ground as a blood spike. Kind of like Kinemaru from Naruto in that Gaara vs. Rock Lee fight. Epic. Oh, Unchanged is like, Fuko. But she's not dead. Oh! And then Unruined punches her right in the fucking face.
Jesus.
And knocks her out.
This is part of the war
Damn.
in the Bronx.
He's like, yeah. He's like, listen, I gotta ask you, Fuko. You're weak. We both know this already. The real question is, why did you ever think you could beat God? He's our Lord and Savior. He's everything. He's the heavens and hell. He's all that is.
Do you have a minute
You
to talk
can't
about
win.
Jesus
You've
Christ?
seen Ragnarok, broski. Huh?
Do you have a moment to talk about Jesus Christ?
Do you have a moment? Because I seen Ragnarok, and I think you did too. So what the fuck are we doing here? And while he's talking that shit, Fuku's like, listen, I never run out of hope. I'm always gonna be the truth. My niggas always got my back. Yo, it's
Bow,
Sean
bow, bow.
and Gloria pull up and stab him with a sword, and that didn't really matter that much. I just thought it was cool that they wasn't scared of him. If Fugo's like, listen, I already know that you guys are unimaginably strong, and like, but even though the master rules are so strong, I'm still panicking. That's why Soul's making moves like this. But we about to complete the union because I'm summoning that boy. She uses one of her strongest moves ever. Bad bullet, knit cap that they had used. Basically, she gave her hat to Sean and attached it to the sword that got stabbed through Unruined's back to turn that into an unluck attack that summons Andy from the sun. He's flying down from the sun in order to fight Unruined. That's where the chapter ends. This was my second favorite chapter of the week.
I wish. I feel like.
Oh yeah, Chris, what are your thoughts? And then I guess Brian can go after.
I feel like this is the first time in a while I'm experiencing regret in my RGC choice because this chapter was crazy.
Yeah,
The second
I think I did a little bit of heavy lifting, but
you did do a lot.
it was a good chapter.
But just rereading again and just like, because I remember reading this chapter, and the second Unruined came in, everything got so unbelievably real very quickly.
Yeah.
Like it was fucking on site. This right here is the definition of on site.
Yeah.
If you look up
He
Webster's
didn't
dictionary,
even talk to them.
if you look up Webster's dictionary, you see and look up on site. It's a picture of Fuko ripping Unruined's head off while also shooting him.
Yo.
And
she has so much animosity for him. If anyone's gonna have any real hate harbored towards them from Fuko, it's this guy.
yeah,
More than
this
anybody
guy.
else.
She punched him so hard that she impaled him with her bare hands and left her gloves in him. I've never seen some shit like that.
It's crazy.
I don't think I could ever hate somebody that bad to have that level of strength.
And it injected the unlock. She monster, man.
Like even the stabbing motion with Sean and Julia was so cool. Even though it didn't really have effect on him, but the fact that it was a decoy for the hat, so that Andy could come down. And she called it the undead unlock. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I can't, in theory, change my.
She went stupid.
Yeah, this was nuts. I can't, in theory, I can't change my RGC. But just know this chapter was bonkers. I can't wait for Andy to come back. Yeah, and he's already on his way. Homie's flying down from the sun. With a big grin on his face. Can't wait.
So cool now her outfit is a part of, like, it's canon that, like, there's reasons why she always wears that shit. You know what I'm saying? Why she didn't get a real substantial, like, you know how there's a time skip or something, like the characters switch it up a little bit. Her hair grew, but that was about it, aside from the skills she's acquired. But this was, I don't know, there was something particularly rewarding about her using the glove and the hat, and as strong for them being as strong as they were. Yo, I didn't know she did unruin like that. That was, wow. Ripped his fucking head off, grabbed his face like a fucking bowling ball.
Insane. Brian, what did you think about this chapter? Brian?
I bet Fuko could beat Brian at Valorant.
Those are fighting words. Well, Brian doesn't seem to be here. Josh, what did you think?
Oh, I mean, I gave a lot of, I feel like I gave a few thoughts, but I don't know why Soul didn't send this nigga earlier. Maybe he couldn't. Maybe he had to wait until this guy was made the negator for Unruined. Maybe the other candidates weren't compatible to do the things he wanted to do. This guy seems like a clear psychopath. Well, how do I put this? All the characters have potential to manifest their abilities and allow it to affect them in various different ways and change the way they are. This guy, so there could have been other people that have gotten Unruined that Soul couldn't have persuaded to help because they were just like, nah, like, fuck you, you're crazy. You're bugging, bro. I'd never do that. Where's Fuko at, actually? I want to help her. You know what I mean? You couldn't risk that. So probably I guess we could argue that he had to wait for this guy. I mean, who is he supposed to be? Like Joker? What's going on with him? He looks insane. He literally looks insane. Like, who was he before the negation?
Yeah.
Who was this guy? What did he fucking do, man? He did weird shit. He did unsavory things. Fuko knows this. That's why she got at him with extreme prejudice. It wasn't just her own feelings. She knew it was her own justice as to why she had to kill him like that, do him that greasy. And that's also why Julia hasn't activated her negation ability yet, because had she had it active, Fuko would not have been able to, you know what I'm saying, go to such lengths. I've put the pieces together, Chris. And with that, I'm gonna light this little clip, rest my case, and rest my thoughts on this wonderful chapter and week of manga.
Yeah, this was awesome. I don't know. Brian, are you back yet? Or oh,
Jujutsu Kaisen was awesome too.
his thing is blinking, but I can't hear him.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Well, if one thought I did have is that I bet this guy's gonna flip. He's gonna be a good guy after this fight. That's
No way.
that's my big theory.
Ooh, Michael Jackson? Absolutely not.
You don't think so?
Do you see how Fuko's fighting him?
Hello.
All right, I'm
Oh,
gonna tell
Brian,
you
you're
this.
back. But
Go to
yeah, finish.
go
your
to
thought,
page 9. Go to page 9 and look at the top
Josh.
panel. Well, that's one of the best panels of the week, by the way.
Yeah.
Does that look like a good guy at all?
No, but we would all look like bad guys if just our skulls were exposed.
BT Dubs, Brooke, mid diff.
Hmm.
You say Brooke would beat this guy?
Yeah.
We already-
Hmm.
Not how to beat him yet. He's kind of like immortal.
He would attack his soul.
That's true.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Brian, what
But
do you
he
think?
ain't no
of
I mean, he
chump,
could beat
so it
Andy.
wouldn't be easy. I think in theory, yeah. He could attack him directly. Like he could attack him in ways that matter.
Damn, Chikara was about that action, bro.
Yo, check this out. Check this out. So Fuko rips his head off, tosses it to Gina, says, use Unchanged to catch the head and put it in the orb. And so she has to hold it. She's like, he's still alive? yo, Fuko was like, yo, hold that real quick.
Hold this man's head.
Just for him to reanimate in a scarier form and start attacking again.
Bro, can
Traumatizing.
somebody tell me why Billy isn't in this fight? Can somebody tell me?
Well, maybe you can by telling us what your thoughts are overall. We never got
But
your
yeah, my
thoughts.
thoughts are why the fuck is Billy not in this fight, but Sean is, bro?
Well, Billy got hit. So
no,
maybe
Billy's
he...
vibing right now.
Oh, I don't know where he at.
He's
Did he
on the
leave?
cloud. He was on the
Fuko
cloud with
tells him
Chikara
to get
and
back.
Sean.
Okay, so maybe, you know,
Chikara's eyes literally got plunged, fucking sliced up, and he still came back into the fight.
no, he's not.
Before Billy
He's not
got
there.
in.
No, Chikara didn't.
Chikara's
fight.
not there. That was Sean and Julia.
Oh, that's Julia? Okay.
Yo, they did
Wondering
that
who
Sean
it
move to spite you, Brian. I feel like that's what you're
Bro, I'm
He
telling-
definitely listens
why
to the
I-
podcast.
Like this Billy.
You
this
mad?
Billy
You see how
rewrite,
smooth that was?
this new Billy that they're going with here sucks ass. New like old Billy was about that smoke every fucking time. Fuck,
Fuko told him
man.
to get back.
He
to
was on
help
a
with the
cloud. He was on the
evacuation.
cloud with
He didn't
Julia
need him.
and Sean.
Fuko was handling the situation. She summoned the whole media. What was Billy gonna do more than that?
He could literally pick up anybody there. Anybody there's fucking negation ability and help.
Nah.
Well, maybe
What do you
he'll
mean not?
maybe he'll help out Andy when he pulls up.
I'm pretty sure he could copy abilities of people he thinks he's strong, right? That's how it works. Yeah. He could literally copy
He's gonna
Unruined.
copy Andy's. He's gonna cop. Oh,
He could
maybe.
literally copy Unruined in this fight.
he might think he's more weird than strong though. So I don't think it'll work that way.
The fact that Billy isn't more active in the post rework thing,
Yeah.
pretty fucked up. I think he literally wrote himself into a corner with Billy. and now he has to like purposely keep him out, or else he literally solves every situation. I think.
This was like the first combat situation in a while. I think just have patience, Brian.
Nah, man. I'm telling you, there's something going on here. Something's going on. Something smells fishy. Billy has not been utilized the way he should have been in this whole loop.
I mean, there's still time for him to jump back into the fight.
Yeah, he better show up and have Unruin and Unluck and Ed all active at the same time. That's what I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, those are my thoughts. Billy supremacy.
Did you think this chapter was good though? Regardless.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good chapter.
Okay.
Except for fucking just get Billy in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. Best chapter of Undead Unluck for me in a while. I loved it. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all we got for Undead Unluck, and that right there is our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. As per usual, you can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Josh is at JDCole_37 on Instagram, and at New Jump City Josh on Twitter. Brian is at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. He streams video games sometimes at twitch.tv/itspunchline. Follow the show at New Jump City on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. I'm trying to get better about posting when episodes are up, at least on Instagram. So follow us there. And maybe, do some content stuff. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, not Google Podcast. Damn it. I got to get that out of my vocabulary. Google Podcast doesn't exist anymore, I think. But yeah, follow us wherever, you listen to podcasts. Castbox, we've been picked up by. So check us out on that. YouTube, of course, you could check us out on there. Keep an eye out on YouTube. A couple of announcements I forgot to say up top, but My Hero Academia is done. So the series that we're going to get to pick it up and replace it is Sakamoto Days. Yeah! So we'll be talking about Sakamoto Days starting next week. It's joining the lineup. We'll do probably a big series introduction during the pre-show or maybe during the main show. We haven't decided, but that'll be it. And Jujutsu Kaisen ends in 5 weeks. We will be deciding what series to cover. It's looking like Dawn to Dawn, but we are open to feedback. If you guys comment, email us. Series in Jump. It has to be series that we have easy access to via the Viz app or some other legal thing, manga distribution thing. But yeah, let us know what you guys would want us to read. It could be from anything from Shonen Jump. Just let us know. But right now, Dandadan's in the lead for us. But yeah, we're open. So, very excited for that. Until then, that's been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. As always, we'll see you next time. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Bye.